my logo, welded, 1/8 inch rebar, I think, quarter inch rebar, and sheet metal, welded by my buddy Seth Landrum. I did a little cinematic sequence, I guess, sort of documenting him welding this thing, and it turned out great. The logo turned out great, and I'm planning on putting it on that wall right there, with right above the light switch, in the near future once I get a stud finder, because this thing is stupid heavy. Like, it's like 4 or 5 pounds. I mean, it's pretty dense. As you can see, I'm in a new place. My wife and I moved apartments, and I finally have an office now. I have never really had my own office before, and so this is really a dream come true in a lot of ways. I've never really had my own office, a place that really feels like my own space, where I can create and think and work, and sort of build it, make it exactly how I want it, and that's really exciting. I'm excited. I'm gonna get some prints on the wall above the desk. I'm gonna get those ordered soon. The logo's going up back there. There'll probably be some stuff back here on this wall. Like, I'm really excited. It's gonna look awesome. Hopefully. Prints are a little bit expensive, and so I don't think I can do it all at one time. Over the past 2 or so weeks, I've been very interested in becoming a better filmmaker. Photography and videography are 2 worlds that I work in very often, but in terms of which one I'm better at, I guess, photography is where all my expertise lies. I know how to make a photo. I'm still really learning how to make a compelling video. And in my sort of binge of filmmaking on YouTube, I stumbled across 2 videos that have been very informative and helpful for what I want to learn. One video was something like "You're Practicing Filmmaking Wrong" by Ryan Cowell, and then another video was by Danny Gewurzt, I don't know, on how to come up with original ideas. Specifically, his video was about how to come up with original ideas for films, but I see this being able to apply to just about any world that you are a part of. They both talked about sort of a similar thing, and that's imitation. What I mean by that is not slapping your name on somebody else's work and calling it yours, but practicing by imitation. Learning how to shoot by shooting just like people that know how to do it. So in Ryan Cowell's video, he takes 3 scenes from a movie called The Lobster that I have not seen, but it looks very interesting, and he recreates them to the best of his ability. He doesn't really go all in with trying to light them in a similar way, but in every other aspect he gets as close as he can, and he does a phenomenal job. All 3 of his recreations look extremely similar, and I think he did a fantastic job doing what he set out to do. But what he was talking about as he was recreating these scenes is the benefit that recreating these scenes has had for him as a filmmaker. Danny's video talks about imitation in a slightly different way. He is talking about how it's next to impossible to come up with an idea that the world has never seen before. You know, there's nothing new under the sun, from Ecclesiastes kind of thing. Like, you really can't put all this pressure on yourself to come up with something unique and original, because everything's been done before. You're following in the footsteps of filmmakers and photographers that have been doing it a long time, and you are an amalgamation in a lot of ways of what you've seen and consumed and what you've loved. Danny's video gives a really great strategy for how to inspire yourself if you're feeling stuck. What he does is he watches things from directors or filmmakers that he really likes and respects, and if he comes across a certain frame that just grabs him, he'll pause, screenshot, and he'll add that frame to a folder. He calls it inspiration or inspo or something, and when he's feeling stuck, or if he feels like he needs sort of a spark, he will go and consult that folder of frames that speak to him, frames that he connected with in some way. And this is imitation in a different way than Ryan's scene recreation. This is imitation in an almost subconscious way, where you have so ingrained these frames and certain styles into you as a creator that they'll start to come out in your work. And again, this doesn't mean slapping your name on somebody else's stuff. It is an honoring, a respect for the things that have come before you and trying to learn from them because they've been done well. So that's really what these videos have sort of awoken in me, is that this newfound respect and vigor for going out and practicing intentionally. I want to practice for where I want to be in 5 years as a filmmaker, or practice for the style I want to be able to achieve someday. And it seems like the best way to do that is to imitate and make the things you want to be able to do a part of you, so that later down the road it will come out in its own way, and then it will be a unique and original idea because you've made it, you've put your eye to it, you've put your own spin on it, because you don't think the same way as the director or the cinematographer for The Lobster, you don't think the same way as Danny Gewirtz, you don't think the same way as I do. You are going to put your own special touch on something, and it's going to be original without you having to bear this immense weight of trying to reinvent the wheel of filmmaking or photography. That's very freeing to me, to not feel like I have this burden of trying to create entirely original ideas, never been done before, never been seen before as seen on TV. It's freeing to me, it's a freeing feeling. And so I'm going to begin implementing this imitation practice into my photography and videography. I'm going to try a lot of different techniques, and there's going to be a lot going on probably, but I think it's going to be beneficial in the long run. I'm really excited. I'm working on planning some sort of short films, some short film projects. I've got another project specifically photography geared I'm beginning work on, and you probably won't see any of these for quite a while, but I'm starting work on them and I'm very excited. So I hope you enjoyed listening to me kind of talk about being a copycat. I hope this helped you in some way. I know that this concept really just sort of revolutionized the way I think about practicing my photography and giving me a way to practice my photography. I really didn't have that before. I hope this has been insightful for you. I hope it's been enjoyable. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask me. I'd love to help if I can. Go check out Ryan and Danny's videos. They're phenomenal. They'll be linked in the description, so you can go watch them because they did a significantly better job of explaining things, I think, than I did. Anyhow, if you like the video, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later.